Okay, we're ready in game. I'll fix my overlay. Hey everybody, welcome back to the raid call Dota 2 League. As always, I'm Basket, bringing you guys this game. This is game 2 of our best of 3 set between Na'Vi, who are going to be over on the Radiant side this time around, and Empire, who are going to be over on the Dire. As always, I am just an unofficial caster for this event, so a big thank you to the organizers of this tournament for giving me the go-ahead to cast this off the Dota TV ticket. If you don't enjoy my coverage or if I'm lagging or anything like that, you can always check out AC and Draskell, who are the official casters. You'll also find them in-game, and you can also check them out over on the One More Game stream. So, getting the intro out of the way, we're now getting underway with the draft, and Na'Vi actually going to be banning out Coddle and Wisp, so we're going to have some big heroes making it through, notably the Darkseer and the Magnus. So, a little bit of speed drafting, a little bit of speed introduction there, but underway with the game. We'll see if Empire opt for the Magnus. We didn't actually see it played in the last game, which is a little bit surprising, though he has fallen out of favor a little bit since he's obviously now more difficult to run on the offlane. And Empire, it's going to be an Undying for them right now. So we might see a very sort of typical Empire aggressive tri-lane, which is something that they don't always show as aggressively as they are doing right now with the Undying and the Gyrocopter, but this is a setup that they love to run, and they might even just go for the Bane as that third pickup right now to clinch that tri-lane right now, since it would more than likely be banned out by Na'Vi if it made it through to the next ban phase. So that's my prediction for the next pickup, though it depends on whether or not they really want to be too obvious with defensive tri-lane. Again, Na'Vi do have the option of putting the Darkseer on their safe lane up against the offensive tri-lane, so effectively using that as a suicide lane, and then pushing on bot or something like that to force Empire back, or even just running a duo mid, something like that. There are plenty of options when your opponent creates a very obvious offensive tri-lane. And there's plenty of good defensive tri-lane heroes in the pool as well, though Na'Vi actually opted to ban out the Coddle, which led Empire a little bit further towards this Undying and Gyrocopter offensive tri-lane. Which is what my prediction is right now, that they could obviously run these lanes a little bit differently. So Na'Vi are going to opt to pick up the lifestealer here. It looks like they're just going to be running a defensive tri-lane. Nyx is obviously one of the best defensive tri-lane carries in the game, just with built-in magic immunity because of the raids. So not too surprising to see that one. In terms of supports, we might see something like a twin-headed dragon, but Queen of Pain is going to be picked up here. So Na'Vi actually grabbing their 3 farmers pretty much right off the bat, and the Clinks is going to be picked up here by Empire. So Bane is the immediate ban by Na'Vi. Nothing too surprising just yet. If Empire are still looking for a support for that offensive tri-lane, and there's still plenty of options remaining in the pool, and not all of them can be banned out. The Rubik would still be a pretty good choice. Jakiro obviously quite good as well. You can't really get rid of everything, and we have seen Empire even running some Disruptor, which would not be a bad choice in this game, especially with a Darkseer and a Queen of Pain on the opposing team. So we might see some Go Black questionable Disruptor, which is a Disruptor with no points in Glimpse. So I guess maybe not the best counter in the world against Darkseer and Queen of Pain, but worth a mention. And Na'Vi are going to choose to ban out the twin-headed dragon here. We've got Shadow Demon and Chen as the bans for Empire, so removing 2 heroes that Na'Vi were playing in the last game. We'll see how things work out for Na'Vi. Again, we don't have Dendi. We've got a stand-in who is Game, who was a player that was similar to Admiral Bulldog, found by Puppy in a pub and invited to play some of these, invited to stand in. And we've got Rubik as the ban out from Na'Vi, so pretty much all the supports that I mentioned as that last pairing for the offensive tri-lane have been banned out, though Empire should still be able to find themselves something. Clanks is more than likely just going to be on a solo lane, and it could just be the solo safe lane right now. Na'Vi are really fishing for supports, though between Empire and themselves, they've pretty much banned out all of the common ones. Again, I did mention Disruptor. I guess at this point we have to start mentioning heroes like Lion, Sand King, Lina, Crystal Maiden. There's still plenty of options left in the pool, but in terms of defensive tri-lane heroes, there aren't all that many. The Earthshaker is still worth a mention, but that leaves Na'Vi with a triple melee, and maybe a pretty easy setup for Empire to maybe just change tack and go for something like an Enigma, who obviously does heavily punish melee-heavy lineups. Empire don't really have a whole lot to kite around the Nakes right now, and Na'Vi are actually just going to opt to pick up the Lina here. I mean, Lifestealer can sort of act as a bit of a setup for her, but if Empire do opt to run this offensive tri-lane, then Lina is not a hero that has a great time against an offensive try, especially if you're not connecting setup stuns and things like that. So, Empire, what's it going to be for them? Probably just looking for another solo, another farmer. Maybe looking for a mid to try and deal with the Queen of Pain. We already saw the Puck in the last game, and I think Puck is probably one of the most noteworthy heroes in terms of dealing with the Queen of Pain, and it's just going to be the Puck there. So, not too surprising, probably going to be played by Scandal, probably going to be on mid, and probably up against the Queen of Pain, who is not going to be played by Dendy in this game. So we'll see who's going to be taking that one. But talking about the Queen of Pain versus Puck matchup, a lot of it comes down to whether or not you can phase shift the Shadow Strike. So there's a bit of a dynamic in terms of the animation on Shadow Strike is very, very long. And that's a plus and a minus. It means that it's very easy for Puck to phase shift if Queen of Pain commits to it, but it's also very easy to fake out the Puck and cancel it at the last second if they're too eager on the phase shift. So it goes either way, but just having the phase, having the silence, it means that Puck is very unlikely to die to Quap and actually has some killing potential in return. VS is going to be picked up here by Na'Vi, so they've got a nice solid setup stun, and they've got some nice roaming supports as well. Some very heavy ganking supports, and actually supports that could look to set up a gank on someone like a Puck or even like a Clinks. So nice pickups there from Na'Vi. And as far as carries go, again, the Lifestealer can afford to be left alone a little bit more since he's got some survivability from the Rage. And just by virtue of being a strength hero is a little bit tankier. I guess the one hero that I do want to mention as not having been considered this game is Magnus. And I guess it shows that he has a place in the metagame right now, but it's not quite the same position that he was in just a few short patches ago. So Empire probably just looking for that last support to round off the offensive tri-lane, which they may be running. They could just offlane the Clinks, but not sure how that would work out. And regardless, I think Clinks and Puck obviously do both need solo lanes. So Undying and Gyrocopter, they're just looking for a buddy right now to form up that tri-lane, whether it be defensive or offensive. Na'Vi do have the potential to go for an offensive tri-lane, but it's heavily mana dependent and it's heavily execution dependent. I mean, as far as supports go, Lina and VS are actually a little bit mana starved, so if you don't start to connect those early kills, if you don't get a quick pair of Arcane Boots up sort of on one of them, then the tri-lane does sort of start to fall apart a little bit at the seams. So Empire, what's the last pickup going to be for them? I think they're just really debating this last support. They could put the Gyrocopter as a support and run a very NTH style lineup with another carry, but not sure if we're going to see that this time around. I think it's just the fact that we've had such heavy support bans. And, okay, say hello to the new No Tidehunter. Empire are going to pick themselves up a Sven here. Looks like it's going to be a support Sven, played by Silent, and Blow Your Brain going to be on the Gyrocopter. So it is not going to be an Ake-copter, as it is so affectionately named in this game. And for some reason, I'm on directed camera there. So just getting out of that one. And I'll remember to turn on my overlay. So, over on the side of Empire, it's going to be Blow Your Brain on the Gyrocopter. Go Black is going to be on the Undying. Scandal is going to be on the Puck, so no big surprises there. Funnick is being pulled a little bit of regen. This is always where Go Black and Silence early gold goes. And he's now heading up towards top, and that's Funnick on the Clinks, if I didn't actually say that. Over on the side of Na'Vi, Havost is going to be on the Lifestealer. Light of Heaven is on the Darkseer. Puppy is going to be on the Lena. Arzart on the Vengeful Spirit. And Game is actually going to be playing the Queen of Pain, so we'll see how his mid stands up this time around. We checked out his Chen last game, and I guess showing some nice of play. We've seen some support Rubik from him, we've seen some jungling Chen, and now we're going to see some mid Queen of Pain. Can he stand up against the might that is the mighty force that is Scandal on the middle lane? We'll have to find out. And if he can win this one, I think he'll really cement a name for himself. So keep your eyes tuned on Game for this game. And I think I somehow managed to get confused about who is on which side, and Na'Vi actually now heading down. It is going to be sort of an offensive duo lane right now. Silence actually up on top. Maybe looking for a gank on the Darkseer, who isn't actually here, but he's now heading up. Light of Heaven going to be camping at the Zermina Urn and finds himself a double damage. And Silent just ducks his head down. Not sure if Light of Heaven would have spotted that one out. How cautious is he feeling? He's now walking uphill. Silent is heading down towards bot, so it's going to just be the classic matchup of Clinks versus Darks here. And it is a matchup that can go either way, and it is a matchup that Funnick does quite frequently win. Light of Heaven only managing to grab 2 creeps in this initial wave cut that he was going for. So Funnick is actually going to find himself outside of tower range and very happily able to last hit. He's going to just right-click down this range creep to make sure that the equilibrium doesn't push forward too much so we can get a lot out of this melee creep and probably actually clean up the wave. And as I say that, I'm missing First Blood down on bot. Stun comes through on Arzart. Nice follow-up stun from Puppey on Blow Your Brain, but one already dead and 1 for 1 the trade. So map awareness completely letting me down there. Not sure why I'm talking about the matchup on top. Sorry about that one, guys. So let's try and fill in the blanks on what happened. The First Blood was drawn. Puppey actually killed off Go Black there. So nice little pickup for the defensive tri lane right now. But there was a counter kill picked up by Empire and Silent, now just standing in XP range right now. Quick check in on mid. Scandal actually pushing the wave forward pretty aggressively, though that might have been a slightly better block there from game. And there's the phase shift. Scandal managing to dodge out of the way of that 200 damage Duke Shadow Strike, and the more of those he dodges, the better position he's going to be in on this middle lane. So game not opting to try and fake it at all, just throwing that out straight away. But now blinking forward aggressively. There's the phase shift used, but the sting is actually on cooldown for a little bit. Looks like he managed to get a scream off there. The orb flies through, and game does know that that's on cooldown for Scandal, but he's going to just be healing up a little bit as well. Arzart is being stuck by 3 there. Nice 3-man stun from Puppey, but it's not going to be enough. Blow Your Brain picks himself up. Who actually picked himself up that kill? Silent grabbed that one, and for some reason, message not popping up in chat for me. So Empire just punishing a pull there. We've got Light of Heaven cutting the wave up on top. He's still got a salve left, but needs quite a bit of farm and needs to get that Soul Ring out pretty quickly. But there's no Flying Courier up just yet for Na'Vi, which is interesting to see given that Puppey did get First Blood. He's actually sitting on a lot of gold right now. And that could be boots, that could be a Flying Courier, which would help out. The Flying Courier now picked up. Scandal going for it aggressively, but nice phase shift on the sting. Game now forced back. Not sure if he had to use the blink there, but Scandal still chasing forward. And Scandal just sitting underneath the tower right now. So he can't put down any damage on the Quap, but can still just be a nuisance. Go Black 2 stacks up in the decay right now. We've still got lots of mana either way in this offensive, in this tri-lane versus tri-lane scenario. And no points up in the tombstone just yet for Go Black. And Puppey's going to head off looking for a pull. Throws in a sentry. Will he be able to spot this one? Looks like he won't. So this is a nice sentry placement here from Empire. The most common positions are obviously Magic Bush, which Puppey is checking right now. He might just cut down these trees. Yeah, so he's going to tango his way into these trees, trying to find a ward here, but not actually going to find it. So now he's probably going to commit his second sentry, maybe down around here to try and unblock the camp. Though, in the end, decides not to. So Puppey, a little bit unlucky for him there. Off to the side, he's pretty slow on the Lena, but Silent not going to be going for anything. Now here are the open wounds on Blow Your Brain. Can they find the first stun? There's the stun. There's the follow-up. Chaining them not quite perfectly, and the Soul Orb actually keeping Blow Your Brain alive right now, doing some good damage with the Rocket Barrage. Puppey trying to make his escape. Pavosa's going to make it down into the trees, but Na'Vi popping salves and backing off. Empire still looking pretty healthy right now, and Soul Orb and salve just topping Blow Your Brain back off quite easily. I mean, mana is starting to run a little bit low for both sides. As I said, Lena and the Vengeful Spirit, mana dependent, but don't really have all that much. Well, in terms of mana to start off with, so we've got Clarities popping off from Arzart, and looks like Puppey's actually going to be heading back to base. Scandal doing a little bit better in terms of lane control on mid, gets the wave pushed out. Didn't sacrifice all that much XP and manages to grab himself the illusion down on bot, and actually headed just straight down mid to grab that one as well. So the shortest path that he possibly could have taken, straight down the river, sorry, to pick that one up. So things working out okay for Empire right now. They're up 1 kill on the board. How are things working out up on top? Light of Heaven has got a Soul Ring up. He's still aggressively cutting the wave. Puppey now up here as well, but he's going to be walking straight into a level 6 Funnick who makes, level 2 Lena's into gold, I think. But he might just need to go and get a little bit of bonus damage. But Puppey is actually playing right into his game, and as I say game dies on mid. Funnick still playing pretty defensively right now. And Puppy, not sure what he's going for up on top. The tier 1 is pretty low. I've missed a couple of kills this game, guys. So sorry about that one. Funnick now going for it aggressively on Puppy. The stun doesn't actually connect. There's the nuke. Puppy going to be surged away, but one more right click is all that Funnick needs, and he's not really suffering all that much for the damage, though he doesn't have enough left to skeleton walk his way through. But Light of Heaven, he used the surge. It's on cooldown for a little bit. Does Funnick have enough searing arrows left? Looks like he might just, and Light of Heaven, greedy play from him, coming to clean up these creeps. He does have a healing salve to pop off in just a second. So TP now back in by Scandal. What's he got picked up? He's 29 for 9. Game keeping the pace more or less, 20 for 4, but falling behind a little bit. And Scandal now pushing the wave out. The 6-man urn is just about to spawn. So it looks like both players have their eyes set on that one. And Game, he's going to guess top. He does manage to find it, so that's an invis for him. Bottling up a little bit right now to grab that one. Havost left alone a little bit on bot. Again, the advantage of having Lifestealer as your carry. Extremely weird skill build. Maxing out Feast before maxing out Rage, but I guess it's his decision. It's a little bit more survivability against the relatively tanky Dirge and the Sven. So it helps him stay in lane a little bit longer, but we do typically see the Rage being maxed out since the gains from Feast are only 1% at a time. It's not really big in terms of damage. It does help a little bit in terms of survivability though. And Empire just completely in control of this lane. I miss another kill on mid as Scandal picks up Arzart there, so I am not doing very well today. Sorry about that one, guys. And again, I guess I've got to start adjusting my sleep schedule a little bit better if I'm going to be casting this European tournament. It's coming up soon, and as I say kill, Scandal picks up another one on mid, and that was still within the time limit to pick himself up a double. So he's doing pretty well. He's got his treads not actually finished up on the courier, but does have enough for them right now. Funnick feeling some pressure on top, but dodging his way out of the stun there, and Silence coming in aggressively as well. Puppy is, I think, a little bit long gone. Funnick, a little bit of orb walking, nice stun. Stuns up Silent, but Funnick finds himself that kill. So, I mean, we've got duo ganks going on to solo heroes from Navi right now on top and mid, and in both situations, they're being turned around. So Empire, 5-kill lead for them right now. They're free farming away down on bot since Savost has now been forced to head off into the jungle. So XP and gold probably both heavily in favor of Empire right now. And yeah, it's looking pretty grim though. Navi do have some pretty good ganking potential. And Arzart just standing by that camp, actually gonna, well, anger the enraged Wildkins. So, and looks like he's actually blocked himself in a little bit there with the creeps as well. 8-man urn does spawn. I'll have a quick check for that. That's a regen urn up on top if anyone is wondering. And Silent just getting some XP from the pole. Tower is low, but the fortification is still online for Empire. So they're going to be extremely happy with their position right now. Funnick is not too far away from his Orchid. It's going to be an extremely good timing for him. One Oblivion Staff already picked up, and 900 gold in the bank. Only 8.5 minutes into the game. Go Black went bot to try and check the runes. So again, both teams are blind in terms of runes right now. We've got aggressive warding down from Empire, and these are fresh wards on mid and down on bot. So they got the sight set on the tier 1 on a bot, I guess both literally and figuratively. Navi looking for a gank up on top, but Arzart's going to be stunned. Couldn't find that first stun. Interesting to see that the surge was actually used on Puppy there. Magic missile thrown out, but Arzart actually drops in the end. Game comes up, but it's a little bit too late for him. And actually invested the point in the ultimate at level 6, so he was really looking to make something happen with that. We do sometimes see Queen of Pains, however you want to say it, go for maxing out Scream of Pain and another point in the blink before going for the Sonic Wave. But Game is looking for the positioning right now, does find it on 2, but Silent, nice stun, nice Silence as well, but they do find 1 kill. Vacuum back from Light of Heaven. Funnick now stunned up, getting a little bit of damage down, but Scandal just right-clicking away, and Funnick now manning up on Gain, tries to bottle up a little bit, but Light of Heaven now forced back since he is completely out of mana. So it's a double kill for Funnick, though Silent does drop in the same exchange. It's not a great one for Navi, and they're now trailing, obviously, by 8 kills. Goblock is finding some good levels on mid, and now getting some points up in the Tombstone as well. Interesting to see that he actually opted for 2 points up in that Soul Rip, and Blurry Brain actually dies down on bot from a gank from Puppy and Havost. So actually a nice little pickoff for them there. And yeah, not sure why my map awareness is being so shoddy tonight, guys. I'm definitely gonna have to work on that one. So just a bit of farming right now for Empire, though. Arzart looks like he's just Oh, I'm not sure what he's doing. I mean, he's heading up towards top. Silence waiting in the wings. He doesn't know he's there, but Funnick is level 10. And against a level 3 Vengeful Spirit, when Funnick already has his Orchid up at 10 minutes, this is a crazy timing, by the way, especially with boots and a Wraith Band picked up. He's just going to be doing what Funnick does best, which is killing heroes all around the map. Pretty soon, Game tries to go on Go Black, but he heals himself up with the Decay and the Soul Rip. Does actually manage to find that kill, but Game trading his life away there for the Undying. He did, well, the Undying did die first, so he got the XP. Undying got none, but Empire, it's a support for a mid, which isn't a bad trade for them whatsoever. Navi still looking for this tier 1 tower up on top, but again, Fortification is still online. Silent doesn't actually have a TP scroll, Scandals is on cooldown, and Funnick doesn't have one either, so they might be able to grab this one. But Navi, 2 heroes down on bot, no real TP support available. Havost is heading straight towards an omelet right now. Funnick comes in, looking for blood. Puppy is hiding back, maybe realizing that the aggression is going to come, but not sure if it's even going to be enough. Funnick is considering this one. He doesn't have that bonus damage for a lot longer, so might have to duck back into the jungle in just a second to try and pick up this kill. And another kill going the way of Scandal on mid. It's a 2v1, but he just does not care. Arzart is only level 4. 0 for 6 for him right now. He is not having a fun time, even remotely. So, another kill on the board for Empire. It's still 8 the split right now, but Game just hasn't really been finding all that many kills. I mean, 1-4-1 on this Queen of Pain, not the best start. And Puppy trying to set up a bit of a farming zone for Havost down on bot. If he can just static farm this lane, he will be able to get at least a little bit up. But the problem right now is Funnick, and he is just going to be everywhere on the map. He spots Arzart, who's level 4, and poor Arzart, he is gone. Nice stun from Puppy, but it's just not enough to deter the Clinks right now. Light of Heaven is just off to the side. He's got a mech finished up, so doing a pretty good job. But Puppy is now the target for Funnick. Nice stun, nice nuke, but there's no Laguna Blade. There's not really enough to scare him off. So Funnick, or gets on cooldown. I think he's not going to be going for anything just yet. We've still got this aggressive ward back behind the tower on bot. That was probably some of the source of Funnick's caution, since they would have been able to spot out Puppy while he was through this region, though while in the trees over here, he would have been hidden. The tier 1 on mid does fall, so even more gold in the hands of Funnick. And since we've seen some towers drop and we've had so many kills going back and forth, I'm just going to switch over to net worth at the moment. Game is the target on mid, and with that Orchid, this is going to be a pretty easy kill. There's the silence, and Funnick just right-clicking away. Not sure if the Orchid damage is going to be enough to pop him. It's not actually going to be. So nice little bottling up there by Game, and I think he tread swapped to power, well, to strength as well. Light of Heaven actually opting to break the Dream Coil there, and that's probably going to be his death with Silent running in from the side with a stun. So Empire finds a nice little dive, a nice little kill, and probably a nice little tower, though the fortification does pop for Navi right now. And I mean, Navi just haven't connected ganks. That's a problem for them right now. I talked about in the draft that they had a nice aggressive ganking squad. They had a VS, they had a Lina, both of which are fantastic gankers, but couldn't really connect anything, and they were frequently just sending 2-man gank squads to try and lock things down. So Puppy headed up towards top to try and deal with Funnick with Light of Heaven, and we saw Arzart moving towards mid a couple of times to try and kill off Scandal, but it just really didn't work out. And as I'm talking, Funnick is just killing, which is what he does best. 2200 gold up in this Clinks. I'm not sure how much he cares at the moment. And tier 2 now being manned up by Empire on top at the same time. Things are looking pretty bleak, and Light of Heaven still not enough points up to get anything in the Wall of Replica just yet. Well, not to get anything significant in the Wall of Replica just yet, so doesn't really have great anti-push, and Empire just doing whatever they want around the map right now. We've got a nice defensive line of wards set up by Navi, but it just doesn't really matter. Empire just invading at the moment, and Navi can't take them in a head-on teamfight, which is just what Empire is forcing right now with this group up and push. As always, whenever you go for a push, you're challenging your opponents to come and stop you, and if your opponents are feeling too timid to try and make anything happen, then you just take free towers and you extend your lead. And as Game blinks away, Arzart is going to die. They're Go Black, I guess, stealing or securing that kill, however you want to think about it. The Dream Coil on Puppy, dodging his way out of the way of the orb, so looks like Scandal is going to decide better of trying to jaunt in, and Silent maybe in a little bit of trouble, but now making the Warcry escape. And game, blink on cooldown for a little bit longer. He knows where he is, but now he's silenced. Are the right clicks going to be enough? No, there's the sword. Vacuum through from the Light of Heaven does actually secure that kill, but it's 1 for 1. And again, a support for the mid, so game to his doom one more time. Empire now leading by 12. It's over 7.5k the XP lead, and a pretty similar story in terms of gold. We're 15 minutes into the game as well. Scandal, he's had that blink dagger up for a little bit now, 1.7k gold in tow, and Funnick is getting something dropped off right now. It's Power Treads and a Crystallis, so his damage is just absolutely through the roof, and he is just finding pick after pick after pick after pick. He's got a lot of bonus damage up now as well, and some nice HP, so he is hunting. Arzart, nice little sentry ward placement right now, in fact. That's a new one for me, but nice spot. I mean, they're trying to find whatever farm they can. Hvost is still just jungling up, and they just allowed the tier 1 down on bot as a nice launching point. They'll to try and defend their jungle, but Empire, it's a very methodical story for them. Heading straight into the Roshan pit, Funnick tanks and perfectly calculates how much, well, not perfectly calculates, but knows how much health he's going to be getting back when his ultimate wears off. And a nice easy Roshan picked up there, blow your brain, actually grabbing that one. So Empire, there's still plenty of towers left for them to take. Na'Vi right now, it's defensive team fights. Maybe try and find some good defensive team fights, and then maybe go from there. I mean, Puppy still doesn't even have his ultimate online, and that's such a huge boost in effectiveness for him. And Arzart still down on level 4 as well, so that's a big problem for Na'Vi right now. They've got good ganking supports, but they just don't really have the levels to be contributing all that much, so they can't really go for any smoke ganks right now. I mean, there's no one over on Empire who's all that susceptible. Sven is pretty tanky, Go Black is difficult to bring down, and Funnick with 4 right clicks finds himself a kill on Arzart. He hadn't even used the silence yet, so now manning up on game. Don't think the Orchid damage is going to be enough to pop him, but that crit was pretty huge there. They've got TP support now coming in, but again, it's looking pretty bleak. Maybe if Empire overextend a little bit. They've only got 2 heroes on mid right now, and support is actually a fair way away, so they're just going to back off right this second. And some nice sentry wards placed by Na'Vi right now, and a few of these won't be spotted out by just casual sentries and gems, so a good investment. We've actually cut a little bit of a wall of sentries, covering a lot of crucial choke points as well right now for Na'Vi. Would be nice to see this one maybe a little bit closer to the ramp, since that would mean that the meager vision that it would give would be enough to spot anyone coming up, but that's a very minor critique there, and I'm sure there's a reason that I'm missing for why that ward is in that exact position. But anyway, Scandal has now disconnected. Again, he's got a 4-staff picked up. We're going to have a quick pause. Na'Vi are actually moving into position to try and make something happen, perhaps. Hvost actually doing pretty well in terms of farm, given the situation that his team is in right now. I mean, Armlet picked up 2.7k gold. Not doing that badly. Light of Heaven has got some arcane boots picked up, which he really does need. Again, very mana-dependent supports. Arzart doesn't have boots, let alone mana boots. And Puppy, he's a little bit better off since he did manage to grab himself that first blood. He's got some boots and a bracer, but Arzart is not having a fun time at all this game. 0-9-1 just is really fodder right now for Empire. It needs to be careful. I mean, the base gold for a kill is 200, and it doesn't actually scale up all that much with level and with game time. So Empire are going to be happy to kill him off in just a few right clicks. So this is where positioning becomes extraordinarily important for him. Yeah, and Scandal has now reconnected, so we'll hopefully be getting back underway in just a minute. In terms of, I guess, overall problems or overall reasons that Na'Vi are sort of finding themselves in this position, I mean, again, we talked about those duo ganks not really working out on top and mid, which gave a lot of kills to Scandal, and it gave a lot of kills to Funnick. It's the right thing to do with the support structure that they had, and especially with the Nakes, who again can sort of hold his own, but let's hold that thought. Funnick's in a little bit of trouble, but a great 4-man silence and Dreamcoil from Scandal, and in comes the pain. Huge stun. Silent going to work. Mech pops off. Arzart's still alive. Miraculously, Silent actually drops. It's 2-0 right now. Go Black gonna dunk Arzart with that right click, but now looking pretty good for Na'Vi. Scandal juking through. Puppy turns around, gets some nice nukes down and nakes open wounds there. 4 for 1 the trade, and it's only Arzart dropping. Havos going to find himself a little bit more gold in the tombstone, and even with that great setup, even with the great setup from Scandal, 4-man silence into a 4-man Dreamcoil is nothing to sneeze at. There just wasn't all that much follow-up, and Blow is actually all the way up at top, though I can only assume that he was in that team fight. So yeah, that's a bit strange, but yeah. Okay, maybe he just TP'd out and went to do a little bit of farming. I mean, he did have the Aegis up. It does have that at least for a little while, so Empire are now respawning, but anywho. So Na'Vi, nice team fight for them, nice defensive team fight. They find some nice picks, they end some streaks, get a lot of gold in their favor. XP takes a bit of a jump back up. We've got gold moving that way as well. Arzart does now have level 6, and he's almost got some boots picked up as well. Puppy, what's he got? Now up to level 8, so the supports are looking a little bit healthier. And Vost, what's he got picked up for himself right now? Going to be heading towards that Desolator with the 2 Mythor Hammers picked up on the courier. So that's the next big item pickup for him. We've got a ward thrown down, and Funnick finds himself an Arzart one more time. Please tell me that Arzart was able to shop up his boots before he died. No, he was not. So that's a sad story for him. Even more gold for Funnick. And speaking of gold, another tower picked up. Fortification pops, but it's actually a little bit wasted there by Na'Vi. So not sure who popped that one, but I guess they deserve a little bit of ire. So still looking pretty good for Empire right now, though Na'Vi are still making their way back into the game. They've got the rank 2 wall now up as well on Light of Heaven, so if you're talking about turtling abilities, look no further than that wall of replica. And Empire probably just looking to make use of this Aegis within the next little bit right now. Funnick coming in from the side. Everyone has now respawned as well. Arzart's going to spot Funnick immediately. There's the open wounds and the follow-up stun. He's actually dropping pretty low. Nice follow-up as well from Puppy. The wall is down. All of Empire walking straight into it. Arzart still miraculously alive, but huge damage in over the top. Scandal comes in as well. Has already used the coil. Now forced to force himself away. Though he does have a regen rune in his bottle. It's a pretty good team fight right now for Na'Vi, and they get one more open wounds out, but a good split from Blow Your Brain. Looks like he might be able to escape. Stun actually misses, and Blow a little bit too speedy there. Phase boots still up as well. So he makes his escape, but the Aegis was used too, and that was a very nice team fight for Na'Vi. I mean, they lost Arzart, but they picked up effectively 4 since they did manage to grab that Aegis, and a good wall into a vacuum was absolutely fantastic. Then Na'Vi weathering the storm as well of that team fight. We saw the Dreamcoil go down. We saw pretty much all of Puck's nukes thrown out as well with the call down, though. Arzart just being killed off by the last tick, and Mech keeping everyone looking pretty healthy. Nice last hit there on the tower by Havost. A little bit more gold for him, though the chase is still coming. And now out of that rage, I think this is one dead lifestealer. Couldn't really get the infest into anything. Scandal now going forward aggressively onto Arzart. He's got some boots finally shopped up, though he might die here. Can we see the jukes of the century? Arzart, nice swap, but it's not going to be enough to get him out of there, so Scandal picks up that kill. So 2 dead right now over on the side of Na'Vi. Does Havost have a buyback? Yes, he does. So if things get a little bit bad, there is always that option available, but Puppy in a little bit of trouble on mid. Now silenced up. Scandal jumps up onto the high ground, but Puppy goes the other way, so nice little play there. The Dreamcoil is thrown out, but Puppy does now have a stun available, so if Scandal with the phase shift on cooldown isn't going to be hanging around too much longer, and maybe not sure if Puppy had enough up his sleeve for the Laguna Blade. Empire straight up onto the high ground. Havost is just going to be waiting out this respawn time. A few seconds left there, but tier 3 already dropping the tombstone committed as well. And the Sven ultimate, the wall drops. Stun comes through, but a nice silence on Light of Heaven cancels the wall, so Funnick's still going to work on the barracks there. Havost comes in, popping out of the TP, looking very aggressive, but Empire have already backed off, investing those ultimates for that push. So Empire, game plan for them right now. Probably just wait around for the next Roshan to ensure that advantage. There's still a tier 2 on bot for them to try and claim in. Not sure if Na'Vi are going to be contesting that one. Regardless, Scandal finds himself a double damage rune. Havost still finding some pretty good farm, and again wasn't forced to buy back in that last fight, so Na'Vi's still holding on. We could have smoke from them right now. Looking for Blow Your Brain. Can they find the stun? No, they cannot. Game going forward aggressively right now. How much does he have left? The blink going to be off cooldown in just a second, but Empire are actually waiting in the wings, and now the Warcry away on a Blow Your Brain, so he can go and lifesteal up just a little bit. And Empire, again, being a little bit more efficient in terms of their time right now, since they are sort of on the front foot. So if the heroes farming around the map taking advantage of the Radiant jungle right now as well, which is obviously the tactically correct decision when you've got this much map control. Just extend the gold lead, extend the XP lead, and then maybe look towards that next Roshan. So that's the target for Na'Vi right now. Maybe try and find some smoke pickoffs if Empire are off farming by themselves. If not, maybe look to try and make something happen at Rosh, since the Darkseer wall will definitely be available for that one. But Empire, it's pretty defensive for them right now. I mean, the aggression is really coming in waves. They know exactly when they can sort of push their advantage and when they can, and this is just a period where they're going to be sitting back and farming a little bit. So Puppy, he's got himself a gem of True Sight picked up. That is actually his gem as well. So some nice dewarding potential there, that there are still some aggressive dire wards down right now, spotting any movements through. Havos getting a little bit more farm online. Looks like he's now heading towards an Assault Cuirass as his next big item, and definitely does need the armor against Empire's lineup right now. Funnick going to be spawning him out, but the gem actually in range from Puppy there. 4 staff away, nice little play. And yes, Silent has a 4 staff up on this Sven. We've got a little bit of push happening on Empire, well, happening by Empire down on bot. And Scandal blink forward aggressively, the Dream Coil, Winning Rift, and everything thrown on Puppy, who pops off the Ghost Scepter. Arzep maybe looking for a swap. Gem on the ground. Can they pick this one back up? The nice wall and the vacuum through. Havos now reveals himself, but can't really find anything. Scandal off to the side. Might be killed off. There's the phase shift. Can he find the blink? Up onto the high ground? No, not up onto the high ground. It's straight backwards for him. And Funnick, BKB, dodges the Sonic Wave, but actually dropping pretty low. Havos now stunned up. Nice magic missile ever. Tries to go for the turnaround, but Scandal has actually come back. It's a killing spree for game, though he does die in the end, and it's a 4-for-1 trade for Empire. Maybe looking to get up onto the high ground, but everyone is still pretty low. Who's got buyback available over on Na'Vi? No one really significant, though. Puppy has now respawned. It might just be, oh, it might actually be Araxir, given how long Na'Vi is actually on the sidelines. Puppy going to be surged forward, vacuum back, didn't actually manage to connect that stun, and even if it had been on top of Scandal, wouldn't have connected it. Ghost Scepter there from Puppy just to try and survive. Right now, nice stun connect on Blow Your Brain, who's putting some good damage out with that Rocket Barrage, actually picks that one up, and Empire still on the tower. The 2 big heroes for Na'Vi, still down for a little bit though. Light of Heaven has now respawned. It might just be the tier 3 here for Empire, since they do have Roshan on the Brain. He's going to be respawning in just a second, so not going to be overcommitting or anything like that, and just going straight for a smoke. Na'Vi have now respawned, but we saw the wall committed to this team fight down on bot. It's going to be up in just a second, but not sure if it's going to be enough, especially with Funnick now heading in towards mid, though not actually making a movement towards the Roshan pit. I guess just wants the bonus damage from this luckily spotted Centaur. And good jungle etiquette as well, clearing up his camp. So Empire just waiting around for Funnick. Na'Vi moving to position. They've got a wall of replica off cooldown right now as well to try and make this team fight happen. Havos moving forward aggressively and solo as well. He doesn't actually have a TP scroll, so there's no rage in TP for him right now. Havos just walked to his doom. Well, that's it in terms of contesting Roshan for Na'Vi. Maybe this is next level, but yeah, no rage TP potential, no TP, no teammates. That was weird. I don't really know what to make of it, and that's an A just picked up again by Blow Your Brain, who now has a Monkey King bar finished up. Scandal going forward very, very aggressively, threw out the Dream Coil already, though not sure where that one is. Looks like Arzep pretty much immediately broke it. But that's another rolling pickoff for Empire right now. Havos is going to be up in 23 seconds, so that might be enough time for him to respawn before Empire get to the racks. But again, that was some weird decision making from Havos right there, walking straight up. So he's going to be respawning in about 10 seconds. Empire still charging forward aggressively right now. The Dream Coil is on cooldown at least for a little bit. Though Silent does have everything, and so does Goblai. Not to mention the gem still up on Goblai as well. We've got the BKB popping out from game. Sonic Wave through, but doesn't really connect on all that many. The wall popped down as well, but Empire just avoiding it for now. Silent wreaking havoc in the middle of the team fight, but though he is now magic missile for both going to work. Nice Laguna Blade there, but Silent still surviving barely with the Soul Rip call down over the top. Double kill there for Scandal, and Blow Your Brain finds himself a wicked 6 streak as well. Buybacks now from Na'Vi, but everyone has already been wiped out. Silent bought back on the other side as well, but Puppy going to be calling the GG, and that would have definitely been 2 racks and more than likely the game for Empire. So that's the set. Empire find themselves find themselves 2-0 at the end of this set of matches. Unfortunate that Navi were playing with a stand-in, but the early game still could have gone significantly better for them as well. So everyone on Navi is going to disconnect off. I'll wait around for the final score screen for the sake of the VODs, and Empire just looking to do a little bit of fountain camping right now, but there's not really anyone to draw the heroes out. So there's the Dream Coil. Call down as well. Big AoE combo in at the top, and it should be enough to clear everyone out. Their blow might die. He's got the Aegis, so that's going to be fine. And the game will auto-complete in just a second. So, anyway, I've been Baseskip. This was the Raid Call Dota 2 League. This was a best-of-3 set between Navi and Empire. As always, I'm not the official caster for this tournament, so a big thank you to the guys who organized this for just letting me stream and cast via Dota TV. The official casters, as always, were AC and Draskell. You can find them on their YouTube page. You can find them on the live stream, which is One More Game TV, or you can find them in-game by buying the ticket. Regardless, make sure that you guys support this tournament. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll see if there's some more games coming up. I think there's some more raid call action tonight as well, though I'm not sure if I'm going to make it all the way through to that. So thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to have you. Sorry about all the missed kills in this game, and yeah, hope to see you for future broadcasts.